On this night, as darkness hangs like the cloak of death over the great house at Collinwood, Barnabas Collins has at last told Julia Hoffman the nature of the evil which threatens everyone at Collinwood. During the past 48 hours, 2 people have died at the hands of this evil. Julia and Barnabas feel instinctively that something even more hideous than death is going to happen before this night is over.
Carolyn?
Oh, hello, Maggie.
Hi. Would you mind some company?
No, come in.
Well, I know nothing that I say will change anything. But
Maggie, if you're going to talk about my father,
I just think it would be better to talk about him than just think about it.
I can't help it. I've lived most of my life convinced I would never see him. And then he came back to me. I know most people think he came back here only because he was terribly disturbed. I think he came back here because of me. Because he loved me and needed me. I know he was troubled about something.
Do you have any idea what it was?
No, except that it was something that frightened him. I could never get him to tell me what it was. But whatever his mental state, I was happy to have him here. Happy to be with him. And I will find out who or what caused his death. Somehow I will.
The police will do that. Even the state police have been called in. Let them worry about finding your father's killer. I think you should find something to take your mind off his death.
I know. I may go back to work in the antique shop.
Why the antique shop?
Well, I like Megan and Philip, and there's a great deal of work to be done there.
What do you think that work is the answer? I mean that particular kind of work.
Why not?
Well, it's just that your father was there the night that he died.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. It's just something that should be considered, I think.
Why? My father was here the night he died, and at Professor Stokes, and I don't know how many other places in town.
I don't know.
Maggie, are you trying to tell me you feel the way Julia does about the antique shop?
Well, I haven't talked to Julia. I don't know how she feels about it.
She's very suspicious of the shop, and of Megan and Philip, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why. Can you?
No.
Megan and Philip are 2 wonderful people. The idea that they had anything at all to do with my father's death is not only absurd, it's infuriating. I would rather not discuss it further. Maggie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound angry with you.
That's all right. I understand. Why don't you try to get some rest?
No, I can't sleep yet. The storm has died down. I may go out on the terrace for a while.
Well, I have the children's schoolwork to look after, so if you want me for anything, I'll be in Roger's study.
Thank you, Maggie. Who's out here? Who are you?
Hello? If I've frightened my lady, I humbly beg her forgiveness.
What are you doing here?
I was drawn here by an irresistible force. You.
Mr. Hawks, it happens to be very late at night.
I want you to call me Jim.
I think you'd better be going home.
But I had to see you.
I'm very flattered, but
Don't you want to know why?
Mr. Hawks,
Jim.
you know there has been a death in my family. I think you've shown remarkably bad taste by coming here this evening.
You're absolutely right. I had no control over myself. I'm sorry. But now that I'm here, you don't want me to leave so quickly, do you?
I really don't know what to make of you.
You find me repulsive.
How can I? I don't even know you.
Yes, you do. We met earlier in the shop.
Is that your idea of knowing someone, a chance meeting?
What makes you think it was by chance?
Oh, I hope you're not going to tell me that fate brought us together.
I believe in fate. Very strongly.
Oh, so do I. But I don't think it had anything to do with our meeting this afternoon.
Oh, but it had everything to do with it. You'll see tomorrow.
What happens tomorrow?
We're going to be married.
You and I are going to be married tomorrow.
Yes.
Just like that.
Oh, no, we'll have a very special ceremony.
You are infuriating.
I didn't mean to upset you.
Upset me. You have decided that I'm going to marry you. The fact that you and I don't even know one another is an obstacle you can apparently overcome with ease. I'm a bit more complex. I'm not upset, Mr. Hawks. I'm appalled.
This was not a frivolous decision.
Why don't we just drop the subject and say goodnight?
But when I saw you, I knew.
You knew what?
I knew that you were a person who needed a whole new life, a whole new existence, and that I was the person that could give it to you.
And what am I supposed to say to that? Well, Carolyn, this is really your lucky day, isn't it?
You're not taking me seriously at all, are you?
If you don't leave very soon, I'll take you seriously and have you thrown off the estate.
I meant everything I said. You remember
And
that?
so did I. Good night.
Wait a minute. I haven't finished
You
talking
let go
to you.
of my arm.
Suppose I were to tell you that it was written somewhere that you and I were supposed to be together.
I would tell you you're crazy.
Don't you ever say that to me. You don't know who you're
Are
talking
you going
to.
to let go of my arm? Or am I going to scream?
Carolyn. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Did something happen outside?
No, I'm all right, Maggie. Please don't worry about
Carolyn. Barnabas. Barnabas, did you pass the terrace on your way here?
No, I came another way.
Did you see Carolyn or anyone else out there?
No. What happened?
Carolyn went out on the terrace a little while ago, and she seemed perfectly all right, but when she went upstairs just now, she looked like she'd burst into tears.
Well, perhaps I'd better go up and ask.
No, I think you'd better not. I think she'd like to be alone.
Have you had a chance to talk with her lately?
Well, I talked to her about an hour ago, and I tried to convince her not to go back to the antique shop. I didn't get very far.
Why not?
Well, she's very fond of the Todds, and she thought I was going to say something against them. She wouldn't listen.
You know, that's the problem. They've been so good to her, outwardly.
Can't you tell me at least why she shouldn't go back to the antique shop?
No, Maggie, I can't. I'm sorry. Continue to watch her and stay with her as much as possible.
All right, I'll do whatever you want me to.
I'm glad I have you to count on.
Do you know why you do? Because I've never known anybody to be so concerned about anyone else as you are about Carolyn. I'm glad you came back to Collinwood.
And I'm glad to be back. To reality. With friends. Especially.
Come in, my friend. Look at me. Now, do you know who I am?
Yes.
Do you know why I brought you back from the grave?
No.
To serve me. You were the first of many who will be brought back from death to serve me. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I understand.
Good. Because if you fail to do as I ask, I'll have to send you back to the grave. Forever.
Dear Carolyn, first, I am deeply sorry about last night. My heart and mind went separate ways. I followed my heart. Second, may we, by mutual agreement, of course, meet tomorrow at 8. Love, Jeb.
The flowers are lovely, Carolyn.
Well, hello, Barnabas. And what brings you here?
Oh, no particular reason. I just wanted to see that you were all right.
I feel much better today, thank you.
You have an admirer, I see.
It appears that way, doesn't it?
You don't sound very convinced.
I'm not. He's a very strange and impetuous young man.
What's his name?
Jeb Hawks. He's someone I keep meeting accidentally, first in the antique shop and then on our own terrace last night.
I see. So he's the one who's upset you so much.
How did you know I was upset?
I came in shortly after you went upstairs. Maggie told me. She's worried about you, Carolyn.
She needn't be. I'm sure the incident meant absolutely nothing.
What kind of an incident was it?
Oh, Barnabas. Now, don't you start worrying about it. Excuse me, I want to get some water for these.
If I don't stop Jeb, there's no hope for Carolyn. I must kill him. Now.
Philip, I have everything completely under control. What did you expect? Well, you and Megan stay out as long as you like. Philip, I'm not a little baby boy anymore. I don't need you to watch over me. I hope you do understand that. For your own good.
Good afternoon, Jeb.
Well, what brings you here?
Well, Jeb, I realize that there's nothing I can do to dissuade you from the course you've taken. Therefore, I think it would be wise for both of us, as well as for our cause, that we reach some kind of an understanding.
What kind of understanding?
Well, we have been at odds ever since you have become fully grown, and that isn't good. If we continue this way, we'll jeopardize our mutual goal. Therefore, I suggest that we become friends. I'm willing to obey and to abide by your decisions to the best of my ability.
Well, what brought this sudden about-face about?
Well, I've just told you that if there's disharmony between us, well, our goal will be lost.
You know, I always knew you'd come around. I just didn't think you'd come around this soon.
Then you accept my offer.
I accept any offer of obedience.
Good. I'm so glad you agree with me. I think that we should seal our agreement with a drink.
Ah, good idea. Megan and Philip keep a bottle around here someplace.
I believe they keep it in the back room. I'll look. To our success, Jeb.
Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I want to propose the toast. Here's to Carolyn Stoddard and her future with me. Now let's hear you say it. Like you really mean it.
To Carolyn Stoddard and her future with you.